We are at the Chenab Bridge and this is the starting point of this magnificent structure. And this is the end point of this bridge, and in between lies a brilliant story that proves the might of Indian engineering and how it overcame all the odds that were stacked against it by the forces of nature. So enjoy as over the next few minutes we bring to you a brilliant story that tells how this bridge, the world's highest railway bridge, was made. But this journey started much further from where the Chenab Railway Bridge is. It started in Delhi on a cold, foggy morning. The distance from our starting point to our hotel in Creta was 665 kilometers. So a long drive that was going to be longer because of the fog, and that meant we needed a car that was comfortable to be in for more than 12 hours. It also had to be good to drive and have smart tech to keep the team happy and in a positive mood. And it naturally needed to be fuel efficient. Keeping all these requirements in mind, I didn't have to search for a car as the perfect one was in my garage. It was my long-term Hyundai Creta diesel automatic. The drive from Delhi to Katra was fairly smooth with the exception of the fog that we had to deal with for about the first 4 hours in the day. This was where the ADAS of the Creta really helped us, and once the sun overpowered the fog, the Creta made time easily as cruising at expressway and highway speeds was totally effortless. With a couple of quick breaks, we were able to make it to the Katra foothills by about 6 p.m. and it was dark by then. We made our way through the ghat roads in dark, and this is where not just the brilliant illumination of the Creta's headlamps allowed for a safer drive, but its smart tech also ensured that oncoming traffic was never dazzled by the high beams at any given point of time. Next morning, after a quick breakfast, we drove towards the Chenab Bridge, which was around 50 kilometers from our hotel. The road to the bridge is almost entirely made up of narrow ghat roads with some steep inclines at places. The real beauty of the drive started about 20 kilometers later when all of the tourist population had disappeared, and we were treated to some amazingly beautiful places that are untouched by tourism and have caring locals only. The sight of crossing the Chenab River in its initial parts was mesmerizing, both on the way to the Chenab Bridge and even more on the way back in the evening. In about 2 hours, we reached the Chenab Railway Bridge, and throughout this zigzag drive, the Creta kept us engaged and safe with its sure-footed handling. Now coming back to this bridge, well, let me give you some interesting numbers. More than 30,000 tons of steel has been used in this structure. Also, it is situated at a height of 359 meters from the riverbed, making it taller than the Eiffel Tower also. That's the kind of size you have in the structure.
It's actually a mammoth bridge, and the mammoth bridge is supported by an arch, which is the world highest arch bridge, railway arch bridge. It's a 359 from the riverbed, and this bridge connect between Jammu to this Srinagar, Jammu and Srinagar.
Also, one other interesting number is the number of bolts that have been used in this structure. The entire structure makes use of more than 300,000 bolts. That's the size of this bridge. And beyond that, if I talk from a design perspective, a lot has been done in terms of engineering. And of course, one of the things we were told is the use of this H beam. So you can see the H design. This has been used for the first time by the railways and here on the Chenab Bridge. Also in the lower part, you'll see this black portion. Now these are rubber bearings and these provide dampening. So basically they reduce the vibration of the structure. Of course, reducing vibration is a very important part because it's a no maintenance structure. So you do not have to maintain it regularly. It's built to last, and having lesser vibration, well, of course, it has a positive impact on the strength and the longevity of the structure.
Right now, it is at top of the deck. And deck is actually the continuous girder. This girder right now it is a viaduct part deck segment. The other side is actually behind that. You will have the main deck, which is a 17 meter. This is a 13.5 meter width. Each deck segment is launched with incremental launching, and this launching is in a curve path, which is a curve plus transition. We did it first time here and launched so that it meet at 1.00. So there is we are not going to allow any deviation at the connecting part. Chenab Bridge is the most strongest and reliable, is the strongest bridge in Indian Railway. We are best bridge and we have delivered. We do not have any single accident initially, but we have no single accident. Here we have already received Ati Vishisht Puraskar from National Safety Council of India Limited. This is given jointly to Afghans and the Konkan Railway.
Let me quickly tell you some things about the Creta in which we are undertaking this journey, and of course this is also my long-term car, so I know a lot about it. I can tell you basically, from an owner's perspective. Now what I experienced on this long drive is, well, first of all, the fuel efficiency. Wow, it's just amazing. I mean, when you're driving at normal highways, you will be getting upwards of 18 easily. And even when you're on expressways doing 120 kilometers an hour, even then fuel efficiency will be upwards of 16 kilometers to a liter. So that's a very good number. Beyond that, well, the comfort of the cabin itself is so impressive. I mean, such a long journey, but almost no exhaustion. The seats are brilliant in terms of comfort and support. Beyond that, the features, like ventilated seats, the overall airiness you get inside the cabin, the large panoramic sunroof, then the brilliant looking interiors. It's such a positive vibe inside the cabin that your mood is always uplifted in this car. And that's what the Creta is all about. It always makes you feel good when you're driving, when you're sitting in it, when you're looking at it. It's just such a brilliant product. Now, the story of what the Chenab Bridge has achieved is very similar to what the Hyundai Creta has achieved. This bridge has cut down travel time and has brought massive development to the entire region.
जी मेरा नाम अल्ताफ़ है, नमस्कार। और इधर बहुत अच्छा ये प्रोजेक्ट आया था जिसके लिए हमने काम भी किया और बहुत अच्छा काम भी चला है। ये ब्रिज बनने के बाद बहुत बचत होगी हम लोगों को, जाने आने में टाइम कम लगेगा और बहुत शुक्रिया गवर्नमेंट का जिन्होंने ये तैयार करवाया।
And it has democratized time and travel for people. Similarly, the Creta has democratized a lot of features and tech in its segment, and actually it continues to be the SUV that offers more tech and features than many other SUVs that cost a lot more than this. That is true democratization of tech, just like this bridge has democratized time. As the sun started to set, we had to make a move back to Katra and then on to Delhi from there next day. The drive back was as expected, pretty comfortable and a good one in our trusted Creta. But even after being back to home and a few days later, I still can't stop admiring the sheer engineering might of the Chenab Railway Bridge and how engineering capabilities can speed up development and transform lives. Much like the Hyundai Creta, which redefined what compact SUVs should be like, and no wonder it continues to rule the segment, and that too by a strong margin.